So last night we talked about how you can improve your volume and kind of the different way you can coach. So you can coach through like recruiting, or having, a couple coaches with a lot of volume, or both, which is like the ideal. That's how you get like an uncapped, unlimited kind of opportunity. And so I'm going to kind of talk about, and I'm going to show y'all a video as well. I mean, that might be annoying, but I think it's super necessary, and it can be confusing, but I think it's good just to kind of be aware. So we're going to talk through that. Okay, so how to set income goals. Okay, so when it comes to the income of Beachbody, it is super confusing. I'm not even going to sit here and tell you that it's not. Part of me is like, you know what, I'm just going to keep my head down, and I'm just going to like hustle and not really focus on the money, and focus on helping people. And really, that's when the money comes, when your heart is to help people. However, I do think it's important to be wise about it as well. So when you are enrolled, which Alex, that basically means you have a coach on your left leg and a coach on your right leg. And I kind of talk about how to set that up in one of the calls that I'm going to share with you. But being enrolled is ideal because that's when you start to get more leads, like random leads, random people. I get random customers all the time just for being my rank. And so the higher rank you get, the more random customers that you get, okay? So I have started, and I encourage you to set your income goals based off of your team bonus cycles, okay? So not necessarily your retail commissions, even though that should be like a cherry on top, okay? The other week, I literally made like over $1,000 in 1 week just on retail, just because I did a really hard push. And that was like a cherry because I haven't been focusing on that. I've just kind of been focusing on my team lately. And so I think that when you focus on your team, that's much more reliable. Whereas like there's every single week, you're not going to be pushing a program, right? You're going to be pushing them once a month. And so if you have, one really good push and you have a really good week, well, that's going to be your only good week for the entire month. And that's not what we want. We want a team that is going to kind of cycle and almost build on itself, and snowball on itself. That's what we want. So it's a good place to start, though. Like a retail commission is a great place to start, but you're definitely limited, right? You can only kind of get to a certain point, and that's kind of it. So I'm going to show you guys a video. It can be hard to like wrap your head around it, but I think that it can be calculated accurately. So you set your goal, like, okay, you want to make $250 a week. That's amazing. We're going to talk about how to build your team volume on each side. So it is like an equation, and it is doable. So I'm going to share this video. I hope that you guys can hear it okay. And it's actually pretty entertaining. I'm kind of impressed by this actual video.
You know, a lot of people think that earning team cycle bonus is some very complicated calculation. It's really not. It's actually pretty simple. As a matter of fact, I'm going to explain to you exactly how it works using my kids' toys from when they were little. Okay, so here's how it works. To qualify for team cycle bonus, it means you first have to become an Emerald coach. How do you do that? Well, you have to be active, and you have to enroll one new coach. We'll use wrestling great Jimmy Superfly Snuka on my left side, and we'll enroll another coach on my right side. We'll use Mega Robot Guy. And once you've enrolled 2 active coaches, one on your left side, one on your right side, you are an Emerald coach, and you've activated your business center. What does that mean when you've activated your business center? Well, basically, it means that you open 2 bank accounts that collect team volume. Now, I have my left bank account headed by Jimmy Superfly Snuka and my right bank account headed by Mega Robot Guy. And now, as you enroll new coaches, you start to build your team. Guess what? I just enrolled Mr. Monkey, and I'm going to put him right here under Jimmy Superfly Snuka. And guess what? Mega Robot Guy just told me that he found an astronaut to join him on his team. And you know what? The astronaut happens to know Lizard Man and put him on his team. And hey, Jimmy Superfly Snuka, he is on fire. He just found this odd yellow armadillo and this ornery cougar, and the ornery cougar happened to know Mousy, who joined them on their team. But wait, Mega Robot Guy here, he just found this green guy. We don't know his name, but you know what? Who cares? He's doing a challenge group. And the green guy, he just brought in some kind of weird cat. And back on Superfly side, Mousy brought in Mad Turtle and T-Rex, and the team just keeps building. So what happens now? Well, as this organization grows, every time someone does a challenge group or sells a challenge pack or another product or buys something, they create team volume. And the team volume from each one of these purchases all roll up into your banks. So let's imagine that every one of these guys happens to sell Shakeology. So each of them have 90 team volume points associated with them. So let's look here at the Robot Guys team. We've got 20 coaches times 90 team volume points. That's 1,800 points in my right bank. And over here on Jimmy Superfly Snuka's side, he has 10 coaches times 90 volume points from Shakeology. So that's 900 points on my left bank. Oh, wait a minute. What's that, Superfly? Really? Wow, Superfly just said that in addition to their own Shakeology HD orders, everyone on his side sold 3 Insanity Challenge packs. So each of them are producing 300 points. 10 times 300 is 3,000 team volume points. Fantastic job, guys. Robot Guy, you guys better get to work. Now, the week ends, and you want to know how much team cycle bonus you earn. Well, here's how we figure it out. You earn 1 team cycle for every balanced 300 team volume points in your bank. That means we're going to subtract 200 from the side that has the most team volume and 100 from the other side. And every time we can do that with the balance that's left in your team volume accounts, you earn a cycle. So let's go back. I have 3,000 on Jimmy Superfly Snuka's side and 1,800 on the Robot Guy side. So Jimmy Superfly Snuka's side has more volume, so I'm going to subtract 200 from that side and 100 from Robot Guy's side. Okay, let's do the math. 3,000 minus 200 is going to leave me with 2,800 points. And 1,800 minus 100 on the other side leaves me with 1,700 points on my right side. So that's 1 cycle. All right, let's see if we can do it again. I subtract 200 from the side with the most team volume, so that's 2,800 minus 200, which leaves me a balance of 2,600 on that side. On Robot Guy's side, I subtract 100, which leaves me a balance of 1,600 on that side. You have just cycled twice. So much fun. And we just keep going until we run out of team volume. So can I do it again? Yes, that's 3 cycles. Can I do it again? That's 4 cycles. And again, 5 cycles. And again, 6 cycles. And again, 7 cycles. And again, 8 cycles. And again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. That's 15 cycles. Uh-oh. I just ran out of team volume on Superfly's side. Oh well, I still cycled 15 times. Now, how much is that worth? Well, if I'm an Emerald coach, I make $14 for every cycle. So I would have earned $210. And if you're a Ruby coach, you would earn $16 per cycle. So that would be $240. And if you are a Diamond coach, you would earn $18 per cycle. That's $270. And I still have 300 points in my right bank. And that will stay in my bank and roll over to the next week as long as I stay active. Now, if I go inactive, it all goes away and I gotta start all over again from scratch. So that's how it works. Now, I've got to get back to work. Superfly, you're in. Astronaut guy, you're in.
Okay, I know that might have been a little cheesy, but I felt like it was helpful. And it might be like Spanish to you. I've watched that video probably 5 times trying to understand it. So I've kind of created this right here. So you have a weak leg and a strong leg, right? A right leg and a left leg. And honestly, you can't really control what your strong leg is and your weak leg is. You kind of can at the beginning. Alex, I talked about in the call how it's really awesome to sign up your spouse. So like I have Austin on my right leg. And so I run his business center. So I put clients underneath him because I'm getting immediate income from him because it's his bank account, but really it's ours. But then I also get like residual income from him. But anyway, and that's the one that you control. So if your goal is to make $250 a week, this is the goal for your team volume. And that is something that you're really going to be able to focus on as you grow. For now, we're just like on our grind, okay? We're just working hard. We're not going to really, really focus on this. But I just wanted to give you like a big picture to just think about as we continue to do this. So how do you grow volume? You add coaches to your team. It might not necessarily make you money, but my coaches are all on Shakeology. That's like so important because they're a product of the product, number one. But number two, it's your team volume. I have a ton of discount coaches, and they are always ordering new things, which is super helpful for me. They, especially through 80-Day Obsession, like nobody that I've had before had used Energize, and now it's like crack and you can't not have it, which is great for my business as well. And that's why these 80-Day Obsession challenge packs and like the whole pack that you get is so awesome because people get a taste of 3 products. They get a taste of 3 supplements, and they're going to find that it's going to be really hard to live without them, which means that your volume is naturally going to multiply, right? Instead of just doing a regular Shakeology challenge pack, you're doing an 80-Day Obsession challenge pack with 3 things. Teaching coaches, like I'm doing right now, how to meet customers with different tools, meet their needs with different tools. I talked about last night, all of the products, there is something for everybody. I've been messaging people all day today, and my first thing is, hey, what are you currently doing your workouts? They're like, oh, I go to the gym 3 times a week. And I'm like, hey, I love that you do that, but 3 times a week, it's just not enough. What can we do to implement more workouts through the rest of the week? Could we do them at home? You know, you're just kind of going back and forth, solving whatever they need in this moment. And also adding coaches to your team. So this is like part 2. I've been trying to like cram this in just because I think that it's better for everybody, so y'all can kind of get moving on your business. So I'm going to start something. Well, I've done this before, but I'm going to really implement it now because I've done it with and I've done it without, and quote, intern coach. I think it's good for y'all because it gives you confidence, and it's also good for me because it sets a totally different tone in the program. So just like any job, I mean, think about the job that you're in right now. You start as an intern, right? I was a summer intern for my first job. And I go back and I think about myself as an intern. I'm freaking nervous as crap. I'm trying to prove myself, right? I'm like going above and beyond, like all in, getting there early, staying late, like organizing more things, going out of my way to help other people to prove myself. Like that's what an intern does. And you also kind of have to do the dirty work too sometimes, but it's super scary. And it's really scary in this situation because not only are you working on your personal journey, but you're also walking with people and leading them as they are working on their journey. So I know that you're probably thinking, you're like, okay, Macy, someone is interested, someone asks me, but I have nothing set up to where they can actually join in. Like, where do I even go from here? And I just had a call with one of my newer coaches before this, and she's like, I have this misconception that like I have to have everything that you have to start. I have to have a free community, a paid community, a blog, a website. Like I have to have everything to start. And I'm like, no, because guess what? You get to be basically like a paid intern coach by signing up people. We all join the same community, and you guys are just a part of it and you were just helping. I'm kind of doing the hard work. You're watching me do the hard work. You're watching kind of how it goes. And then you fill in the gaps and you learn from it. So you're going to join me in coaching the next program, and it's experience for you, and it's also going to build your confidence. So we're going to put, this is brand new for me, okay? We're going to put everybody in the virtual wellness center studio. Like everyone's clients, okay? I'm going to take the Macy McNeely Wellness off, and I'm just going to make it the virtual wellness studio. So it doesn't necessarily have my label on it. I want your name to kind of come up in your own client's head when they think of your coach. I don't want them to think Macy McNeely Wellness. I want them to think Alex or Kaylin or Christine. We're going to coach together, but you're going to bring a lot of energy. So I've done this with, and I've done it without. But what I've learned is when I have a intern coaches, they are, first of all, the best challengers, and they bring the best energy. And this is when you got to be vulnerable. This is why I ask people to share progress pictures, especially my coaches, because that brings people so much encouragement. I can't even tell you. Like, it is super scary, but I think it's like speaking, okay? When in my last job, I would have to speak to a large group of people, and I would get so freaking nervous that I would almost vomit, and my boss, he would say, "Hey, Macy," he would just be super truthful with me. He's like, "The reason you're nervous is because you're thinking about you, and you're not thinking about the people that you're about to talk to," right? You're not thinking about the people that need to hear what you're having to say. You're thinking about what you're going to look like, what people think about you, and it's all about you. You need to like shift your attention. This is the same thing. When you start to feel nervous and scary and vulnerable, you need to think, okay, wait, this isn't about me. This is about the person that's struggling, right? This is about the person who needs a little bit of love, needs a little bit of inspiration. You're the first one to encourage someone as someone's posting like, "Hey, I feel down. Hey, I messed up. Hey," you're the first one that's like, "Hey girl, don't worry. Like, tomorrow's a new day," right? Vulnerability is absolutely huge in this because it just makes everyone feel so comfortable. Intern coaches are totally the ones that lead the example, and people absolutely follow. So think about, let's say we have like 50 people in the next program, right? But there's only 2 people sharing. And I know that I feel like in the app, it's been super active, but in my virtual wellness studio, it hasn't been. And that's definitely my fault. I have been my life right now. But I'm kind of coming to a point where I have like a schedule of kind of like monthly themes that I want to have and I'm excited about. But if you think about like only 2 people sharing back and forth, it's really, really boring. But intern coaches is what makes it fun, and you totally set up what other people duplicate. I think sometimes people see me, like I got a message from a girl today who was like, "Macy, I watch your Instagram stories and I just think like I want that life so bad." Like, she sees me as the finish line. And for her, it's like unattainable. She's like, "I work, I do this, like I just can't get there." And what she needs in her life is someone who doesn't seem like they're at the finish line. I'm not at the finish line. I will never be at the finish line. I know that, but she like can't see that, right? But if she were to have a couple people who are like, "Hey, I'm in the grind too. I'm waking up at 4 a.m. too. I'm having my green beans at 4:30 in the morning." Like, you're not alone in this. It would be so much better for her. You intern coaches are the ones that people relate to, and they're the ones that people follow. Absolutely. So the steps that you need to do is to go all in. And I talked about this last night, being a product of the product. And oh my gosh, I mean, I could talk about all the messages that I've had today. One girl messaged me and she was like, "Macy, the reason I really want to work with you is because I see you're all in. Like, you're using Shakeology, you're using the supplements, and you're working out. Like, you're doing the thing, and I want to do the thing too." And I'm like, "Yes, girl, I want you to do the thing too." So go all in. Share results of your clients to social media. That's another reason why progress pictures are so huge. I have a whole highlight on my Instagram stories of testimonials. And not a lot of them are like pictures. I try to blur out just to be respectful. But if I ask if I'm showing like the body, I always ask. But just like the words that people write to me are so meaningful, because that's what's important. Like the feelings and the confidence and the mental clarity. The body comes at some point. If you make right decisions, and if you are working out, and if you are thinking good about yourself, the body will follow. But the hard part is the mental part. And so that's what I love to share. And I like it when I've had like intern coaches. My most successful intern coaches are the ones that do it about 2 or 3 times with me. So about 2 or 3 months, they like are in it and do it. And then they kind of break away. They stay in my virtual wellness studio. They might pull their clients out of that virtual wellness studio and into their own. I've had a couple intern coaches that like begin to do programs together and like set up their virtual wellness studio together, which is super great. Like, it's totally up to you how you want to do it. But I think that's what builds the most confidence when you do it 2 or 3 times. I have a ton of content, like a ton. And I have like a whole schedule of like the minute I get in my house and have a chance to like just have uninterrupted time. I don't know if you guys can hear my family right now, but they're so loud out there. And I'm like, you know how that is. But I have a plan that I'm going to be doing like a month, like 1 month is going to be like wife hacks, because I'm not like a mom yet. I can't do mom hacks, but like so many conversations that I have is like, all that my husband does is eat pizza, and like he's shredded, and all he wants to do is eat, and all this and all that, and I can't stay on track. Like, that is super hard. And like, my heart is for like to change the wife, is to change a family and to help your husband get healthy, because that you need him around, right? We don't want any like arteries clogging or happening. So I want to do a faith-based one. I want to do something when it comes to like cleaning out, like half the freaking battle of this program has been getting crap out of the house, right? And just not having it available. So I'm going to work through that and create even more content. And I'm excited. I'm really excited about that. So, I feel like I just talked a lot. But as we're kind of doing the programs, I want you to look inside, as like an outsider perspective, and be like, man, this program needs a lot more recipes, or this, I'm not like a recipe person. I'm like, give me like 3 things and move on. I don't care about recipes. So that's probably one thing that I need more of. Man, this needs more inspirational quote. Man, this needs more picture. Whatever you feel like, that's A, you can either add that to your own program, or B, do me a favor and get on Pinterest and add some recipes or add some inspirational quotes. Like, be the first one to post something that you see and you're like, yes, like that is what they need. So that's practice for you. Like, don't be scared. Just do it. Right. So for this next program, I can't decide if I was saying the 13th. Or sorry, the 12th, but I think I actually want to do it the 19th now. So the 19th, I would do 19th through the 23rd. I would do a little obsessed, and then and that also gives people plenty of time to kind of like get their packages. And then starting the 26th is when like their 80-day obsession would begin. So, and that gives y'all plenty of time to like share and talk about it. So really the best thing for you to do is to go all in on both sides, the coach and the client. And really they're one and the same. Like, a huge part of being a coach is just working on yourself, right? The more engaged, the more success you could possibly ever imagine that you'll have. There's 3 things that you need to not lose at this. Okay. Number 1 is enthusiasm. My dad always says enthusiasm cannot be put on falsely. And it's so true. It's to be all in, and it is the best sales tactic that you could possibly have. Okay. Belief is also an incredible sales tactic. And thirdly, results, because results don't lie, right? I mean, Alex, you've had the most incredible results. Like, I wish I had like a transformation the way you are having right now. Cause I'd be like, girls, come and look at me naked. Like, I want you to see what this is happening, I like wish I had like a huge transformation. That would be awesome. So this is a time, if you are having, Christine, all of you, the results that you have, that is the business builder for anybody. I mean, truly, it is like, because people look at that, they're like, wait, I want those results. I want that life. And here's the best part about it. I know when I was an intern, I didn't get paid anything. I think it was like $3 an hour. But you totally have the choice to be paid. And you can make that decision as much as you would like to be paid. So you don't need to pretend like you're a know-it-all. You don't need to pretend like you know everything as a coach. The way you like throw out feelers is like, hey, I'm excited about this group. I'm excited about the progress that I'm making. I need more accountability. Maybe you failed in the past. I don't know. I need accountability, and I want it. And I want you to do it with me. Honestly, the best accountability you could possibly have is being a coach. Honestly, it's good accountability. But that's so like genuine. Like, hey, I'm doing this. I really love it. I'm seeing results. I want accountability, and I want you to be in it with me. And it's simply sharing. Like, I just want someone to walk with me through this because I don't want to do it alone. Who wants to do anything alone, right? And this is how your business starts to grow. This is how you start with a little snowball, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. People get results. They love the products. They want in. They do what you're doing, and they duplicate and they duplicate and they duplicate. I've said this once, I'll say it again. This is totally a crock pot business. Oh my gosh, it's such a crock pot business. It just takes time. It takes patience, and it takes consistency. And so I think that the volume part, like, yeah, that's important. The business part is important. Like, the facts about Shakeology, yes, it's all important. But the most important part is just to be a product of the product. Share that you love it, share your results, share your enthusiasm, share your belief, and then be an intern coach for 3 whole months. Even, I mean, you can for longer if you want to. And then just, and honestly though, if like you're in this and you're like, I don't want this to be like a full-time thing, I just want like a nice little side residual income, I'm super happy to like take on your clients and help you coach them and lead them in any way that I possibly can. And then you take on as much as you want to take on. Like, it's totally up to you. You make this however you want to make this. So that's it. That's all I have for you tonight. It was a quick call. I'm trying not to like, make you drink out of a fire hydrant because I know this can totally be a lot. Do y'all have any questions initially?
So, Mace, where would you say is a good starting point? Like, if there's already, like, I've had a couple of girls just ask based on, like, seeing my Instagram and stuff of being like, wait, what are you doing? And, like, you're so fired up about it. You can walk into a room with, like, candy and cookies and you're not like, oh, I'm on a diet. I can't, like, you're happy that you're like, I totally don't need that. Yeah. They like want in. So where, and they're like eager, like, how do you kind of, is it just by learning the products and just having kind of, you said, conversations and asking like what they want and like, where do you see yourself, like that kind of thing?
Yeah, I think for you it'd be like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I usually start with like, have you ever heard of Beachbody? Usually girls our age have not. Usually, if they're older, they have. Or they're like, yeah, I think I've heard of it, but because it was big like infomercial. They used to be a big infomercial thing. So people who are older used to watch a bunch of TV, and now everyone watches like YouTube and Netflix. And a lot of people, like older people, don't like Beachbody, but they just don't understand. So have you ever heard of Beachbody? And they'll be like, no. Like, oh my gosh, it has changed the way I think about it, the way I think about food, the way I exercise, the way I treat my body. Listen, you need to do this with me. You should do this with me. Let me, send you more information about it. And then you come to me and I'll help you type up an email or type up something and we'll send it together. If they have heard of it, if they're like, yeah, I have, or if they're like, oh, I've done the 21-day fix, you say, hey, this is totally different. This is a way that you change the way you go through way too much in 80 days for this to be, I've sent that in an email. Like, if you do a 21-day fix, it's 3 weeks. Okay, you can do anything for 3 weeks. 80 days, you go through celebrations, you go through stressful times, you go through change, you go through hard times, and you literally have to change the way you think about everything. And I think it's just inviting them. Like, don't be scared to be like, hey, do this with me. You have to do this with me. And not being scared of that. And just remember, I say this all the time, no is not never. Pretty much 90% of people that have said no to me have come back and been like, I want in. 90%. I'm not even kidding you. Listen, Maggie has been on my list of people that need this more than anybody for a really long time. You need to get her. Is she one of them?
Yeah. Oh, no. But on that, like I had another question just with having a conversation with a couple of people at work. So something, I guess, just a basic of how to, because I found myself not getting flustered, but getting like irritated and fired up because, you know, people are asking questions and they're like, oh, well, I'm doing Whole30 now, and you know this, and I was like, yeah, and like that's amazing, it's a detox, and you know, and they're like, yeah, so it's kind of like the same thing you're doing. I'm like, no. Like, you know, I'm like, it's so different. It's a mindset shift. Like, it's learning what your body needs, how to look at food, because everyone who, like, I feel like most people that I know that are on Whole30 like hate their lives for 30 days and are like waiting for it to be over, and as soon as it's over they're like, I want pizza, Chick-fil-A, and everything. And I'm like, well, then what was the point of that? So how do you talk to people who are like wanting to know what you're doing, but then are like defensive, or like, you know, well, I can't do that because like I have kids and I have to take them to school in the morning. It's easy for you because you're single. And like, how do you talk to people like that?
Yes, that's such a good question. So I actually just had a conversation with a girl. She's been a client of mine before. She stopped her Shakeology order, and I always keep note of people who stop because that's kind of the qualification to get in my studio. And so I just like reached out. She's like, hey, I'm doing Whole30, you know, so I'm just taking a break in January. I'm like, okay, totally cool. So after January, I followed up with her, and she was like, you know, I've been going through different options, Whole30, keto, ketogenic diet. I don't know if you know what that is. Atkins, Weight Watcher. She was like naming all this stuff. She's like, I just don't know what I can sustain. And I was like, okay. I was like, I remember you did Whole30 on your Instagram story. At one point, you were like drinking beer and having like a burger. So I know that Whole30 wasn't sustainable. I just straight up said that. I was like, hey, I know you struggled with Whole30 because honestly, it's not maintainable. I've done Whole30 by day 17. I'm freaking over it, right? I don't believe, like, for example, a ketogenic diet. I don't believe that you should ever cut out any type of food. Like keto, no carbs. You do not eat a carb. You eat a ton of fat, but that doesn't mean your insides are healthy. Like, you can be shredded on the outside, but you know what I mean? And so, and for her, she's like, I just want to be able to go out to eat. I'm like, girl, I go out to eat all the time. You can totally do it. So I think it's just communicating like, hey, I think Whole30 is great, and not bashing on anything. Like, hey, I think that's awesome. But and I think a lot of it takes people that need to come to the decision themselves. It's like, you share your heart. You're like, hey, I think Whole30 is great. I don't think it's something you can do long term. I don't think it's maintainable. What I'm doing is something you can do literally for the rest of your life. And when it comes, like, I have a ton of moms that do my program, and so like Shakeology, you can have that meal in the morning. So for my moms, they throw it in a blender and make that and take kids to school or whatever, and they just switch that meal, that Shakeology, in their first meal. And so it's just like, oh, you don't have to like cook eggs in the morning. You can actually have just a quick shake in the morning, and a lot of people don't know that. And you know, and I call people out. I don't mess around. And the girl yesterday that I was talking to, she was like, I just don't know if she was like, can you please send me more info? I just don't know if I'm able to commit. And I just texted her, and I was like, hey, I almost fired her as like a potential client. I was like, hey, I can send you all the info that you want, but you've already made the decision that you are not going to commit. You've already made the excuses. You've already told yourself in your head that it's too hard. You won't be able to do it. You love wine too much. You love cheese too much. You've already decided. So I'll send you whatever you want, but until your mind is like all in, it's not going to happen. And she was like, you're right. You're so right. Oh my gosh, I just need to be all in. And another thing I tell people, she's like, I love wine. I love wine. And I was like, hey girl, I was like, I think it's good to be uncomfortable and to push yourself to not have wine, but you can take this as seriously as you want to. You can have wine 3 times a week. Will you get the same results? No. Will you feel as good? No. But like, I'm not going to babysit you and make sure you don't have wine. You can do what you want to do. So I think people think that they have to just like be perfect. And it's like, or you can just learn the concept, do the best that you possibly can do, and then go from there, right? It doesn't have to, I mean, I would suggest to go all in. You have experienced how great it is. But sometimes people need to go in hesitantly with one toe in to realize how awesome it is. It's a great question. Does that help you?
Yes. Yeah, that's super helpful.
Yeah. And I think just continuing to doing it in front of people, and it's like, hey, look, I get to have carbs. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, those are good questions. Anything else?
I don't think
No.
so.
Kaylin, Christine, I can't see you guys, so I bet you're probably like
No, I look like a hot mess because I have like I never do the video because I've worked out and I haven't showered yet, so I look disgusting. So I'm like, no. But I do have I've had a couple people like on my Instagram stories, I'm showing like I'm making my Energize and stuff, and they've reached out, oh, what are you using?
Mm-hmm.
And is there like, obviously I want people to do like a challenge pack, but can I almost like a gateway just like have them buy products from me, or I mean,
Totally.
that makes sense.
Totally, yes. I literally at 4:30 today, a girl messaged me, hi, I was wondering what kind of pre-workout you use. Usually I just send a link. Like in the past I've sent a link and be like, oh, this is it. But this time I just said, hey girl, it's awesome, it's plant-based and really helps me go the extra mile. Are you currently drinking a pre-workout? She said, not right now. I asked what she was currently doing for her workout. She said, gym 3 times a week. I said, what makes you only do it 3 times a week? She said, work, too much. I can't seem to get to the gym. And I said, do you think working out from home would make you be able to go to or get workout more regularly? She was like, I think so, but I don't know if I have enough discipline to do it at home. And I said, well, what's so awesome about my program is that there's a whole group of girls that are doing it with you. It's hard to, not do it when you know a bunch of girls are doing it at the same time. And what's even better is that my program comes with the pre-workout supplement. She said, can you give me more details? And then she just filled out my application and we're emailing now. Mm-hmm. So in the past, like I said, I've just sent a link and it's been no more communication. Now I have a whole conversation going.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just asking about them. Like, people love to talk about themselves. Like, just let them talk about themselves. Ask what she did, what her schedule was like what time she leaves, what time she comes home, and just kind of being like, hey, you can't just work out 3 times a week. You're just not going to get a result like that. And of course, I'm like, in my opinion, that's what I think. And is she going to sign up with me? I don't know. But at least I have her email address now, right? And I can
true.
If she doesn't, and I can keep in touch with her. I have that, I showed you guys on my streak call. I had like a whole list of people who've said no to me, and I just follow up with them every time. I had like 5 people email me back, and they were like, I'm in. No more questions, no more back and forth. I've talked to them a couple of times. They know what it's about. They're just like, I'm in. So I'm nurturing her basically and kind of like babying her a little bit. But at some point, hopefully I'll get an email from her that just says I'm in. That's my goal.
Yeah, that makes complete sense.
Okay, good. Yeah. It's very much just like a general sales mindset. I took a sales course from my dad, and it's like changed the way I think about everything. I don't care what you sell. This is the same freaking concept for anything. It's just answering the specific question for the specific person.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Using some type of product for them through Beachbody that they can use to solve their problem. But yeah, people can totally buy just the pre-workout and nothing else. Mm-hmm. Totally. It's not the best value, but if that's what they want, yeah, it's still commission,
Yeah.
And Sarah Dan, I don't know if y'all follow her. She's like a Beachbody coach. She coaches Beachbody coaches, but she always promotes like, hey, don't just sell challenge pack, like just sell the bands, just sell the slide. Like usually when people buy one thing from you, they're more likely to buy lots more from you. I mean, I just feel like people need to talk with me a little bit more to know that I'm not like trying to play them, that this is the
yeah, that makes sense.
And then they kind of start to trust me and buy from me.
Mm-hmm.
Great question though. It's fun when people message you. Don't you get so excited?
Yeah.
Like, yes, we're good.
Even like someone that I was doing my meal prep this morning and someone sent me a message. They were like, oh, how do you cook your Brussels sprouts? I've never done them in the oven. So it's like even just starting that initial and like getting that communication going. Yeah.
And then you say, oh, do you meal prep? What kind of meal
Yeah.
prep are you on? Do you,
Yep.
you know what I mean? It's literally anything that people talk about. Someone messaged me. I did an Instagram story about my freaking pile of clothes, you know, in that bed. She was like, hey girl, here's a great tip. And she told me like a tip to pack. And then we just kind of started talking and she signed up with me from just the tip of how clothes.
That's
It's
awesome.
the craziest thing. It's like once I've started to just be intentional and like just talk to people and build a relationship with people, it's like that's all it takes. People want relationships.
Yeah.
It's blowing my mind. Obviously, this is like a recent discovery, and I'm like on fire about it. I can't believe how it's almost too easy, you know? And then it's like when people, their lives change and they're hooked, and it's like, it started from a conversation about clothes, and here you are with like a whole new life. It's just the coolest thing ever. I just love it. I'm so passionate, you know? But yeah, those are great questions. Instagram story is where it's at, y'all. Let me tell you. That is where it's at. Christine, are you in there? She might not be. She might be like feeding her baby. It's totally fine. Okay, any other questions that you guys have? No? Cool. Y'all are awesome. This is so fun. Alex, I'm going to text you and hear about your schedule for tomorrow.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Love y'all. Bye.
Bye.